All right, guys, welcome back to 215 Trades. Today, January the 13th, 2025. Okay, and for those who are just joining, for those who are new to the channel, uh, do know that the 215 Trade channel is a channel that live streams gold, trading gold using the 215 technique to trade gold. And if you're unfamiliar with the technique, I'll be going through how you actually use this technique um, while trading gold, and also taking the entries live if we get a entry on gold. Hi, the nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, guys. So just remember to like and share the live if you haven't yet done so. It does move along the channel as best as possible. Thank you very much for the support. So, as I said, it's Monday, the 13th of January. We had a few trades last week, very good trades last week. I think we took about three trades last week, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it two? I think it was two on live stream, and those two were two solid trades. So we're going to look to do the same again today. All right, so let's get into it. Before we even dive into the 215 markup, let's just have a quick overview of the market. Let's go all the way up to the 1 day time frame just to see what's going on, and then we can dive into the lower time frames and do our markups on the lower time frames and possibly look for an entry. So sorry that you missed out last week, but no worries, we will do the same thing again this week. All right, so let's see what's going on. Let's have a look on the 1 day time frame. So let's use the rectangular drawing, and we can mark out this area so we know that this area in a sense is a very strong support area, as we can see that price rejected from this zone quite a few times and pushed back towards the upside. Now, where gold is right now, we can see that it's at a very strong resistance point in the 2,700 price region to about 2,713. Okay. Now, why I say it's a very strong resistance area, we can see that each time price came into this area, it rejected strongly, but it also rejected from the support area as well to go back up to here. So now we can expect for price to possibly continue higher during today's session into the New York session, as it's now the London session is just going to open in about an hour or so. So the price can go and test these areas yet again to only reject, or is a strong possibility that it can break through these areas and continue higher to set new highs, because I believe we're very close. I think we have this price right here, 2,789 is actually the all-time high if I'm not mistaken. So if price goes up, let's say price do something like this and come back to test these areas to go like that, then we definitely know for sure it is looking to create higher highs. All right. So that what it looks like on the higher time frame, the daily time frame. I'd say we still have some room, some wiggle room for us to go a little bit more higher into these zones before we actually reject. So we can possibly very well look for a buy today, even though it can take an early rejection and continue lower. But the good thing about it is that the 215 technique is actually um, prepared for any decision that goal actually do make. So let's dive down into the 15-minute time frame so we can see our markup areas and what we are looking for. So we're using the 215 technique, as you know, and the first rule of the 215 technique is that on the 50 minutes time frame, what you basically need to do is to mark the price that gold is trending at. So whatever price gold is trending at the time when you're reading the chart, you're just going to mark it, and that will be called your point of interest or your POI for short. So ours is 2689.187. Then the next step would be to measure above or below 20 pips or $2. So going below first. All right, so above or below you measure 20 pips. So if it was 2689, it should be 2687.187. And then this should be called your sell line. We're doing reverse of that, and we're gonna measure $2 or 20 pips above from the point of interest. So if it was 2689, it should be 2691. So this should be 2691.187. And then this should be our buy line. All right, now once we've had these buy line and sell line marked out, we also need to find our rejection areas on the 15-minute time frame. So let's have a closer look. Now, additionally, so the rejection zone on the 15-minute time frame, those are basically just support and resistance on the 50-minute time frame. So the closest 15-minute support or resistance to the 215 zone, and the 215 zone is just between the buy line and the sell line, which is right here. So let me just put that on. So that's the 215 zone. Okay, now it does look a bit choppy on the downside for the 15-minute time frame because there are quite a few supports below here. So how do we decide which to use? Let me have a look at the marker. Okay, this one does seem to have quite a few points, even going towards the left a bit more. So we'll use that one, this one right here, as the 15-minute rejection. I'll take it a little bit lower, just below all these, so it does capture these points right there, this centerpiece, and also these as well. So I'll switch that back now from to yeah, to broken lines, so I have a better look of it. All right, good. So we have that as well. Now we go back to the. We have to do the reverse as well on the buy lines because we also need a rejection area for the buy line. This is right here. Now this seems like it's just. Oh wait, hold on. Is my. Okay, so this should be 9-1, not 9-2. Okay. All right, so that should be 91.187 because it's $2 or 20 pips above. So the rejection on the buy side would be this bit right here. Okay, good. All right, so we've identified our 215 zone. We've identified our first rejection areas, which we'd like price to retest before we actually do take entry. So we now need to find our target areas, and we find our target areas by going to the higher time frame from the 30-minute all the way up to the 4-hour time frame to identify the support and resistance on these time frames. So let's begin with the 30-minute time frame as it follows the 15, and then we can work our way up. All right, so on the 30-minute time frame, the closest support and I would say we'd have would be this one right here. So that will be our 30-minute support. And if we look above the 15-minute rejection, I would say the next 30-minute resistance would be right here. Okay. So we continue the same approach and we go to the 1-hour time frame and identify the 1-hour support and resistance as well. So I would say right here is the 1-hour support, and then we also have right here as well as the 1-hour resistance. Okay, now the 4-hour resistance, let's see, we might have to go to the extreme left for resistance. We can find a support, which is right here. We can use, right, that's 4-hour, but for the 4-hour resistance we have to go all the way over here to find it. Okay, all right, good. Let's reset the chart view and let's zoom in. Let's go back to the 15-minute time frame now. So we've identified a 215 zone. We've identified the rejection points that we'd like for price to retest before, and we also identify our target areas as well. So now we only need to go to the 5-minute time frame to identify our entries and what we are looking for today. All right, so let's switch to the 5-minute time frame. Hold on. Okay, good. All right, so we're now on the 5-minute time frame. So let's just explain the entries that we are looking for today. All right. Okay, these are the entries that we're looking for today to take a buy or to take a sell, or possibly even taking an entry model 2 using the 215 technique. So let's see what we're looking for. Let's use the pathways arrow to explain it. All right, so for us to take a sell, we would like for price to break below that sell line and test this 15-minute rejection zone. Right, if we can test that 15-minute rejection zone with a pullback in to the 215 zone, right, close inside the 215 zone with another rejection outside of the zone again, then this would be confirmation for us to take sell. All right, and once if we can take a sell from this point, then we will target the 30-minute support as our take profit areas. All right, so that's it for sell, and I believe then this would be a entry one of the 215 technique. Now there's also another entry one as well of the 215 technique um, for a buy. So if price was to break above that buy line, test that 15-minute rejection zone, pull back into the zone with a candle closure outside of the zone. Now that will be an entry model one as well, for us to take a buy and hopefully targeting the 30 minute resistance to the 1 hour resistance, and maybe even the 4 hour resistance, as well as your take profit, all depending on how much the market gives to us, right? However, let's say price break our zones. Let's say it. Let me trying to clone this. It's okay. Let's say price breaks our zones and travel to our target areas, which would be the resistance or support, without giving us a pullback for us to do a retest entry, right? If price does that and doesn't pull back, then what we'd have to look for, then we'd have to look for entry model 2 of the support or resistance, right? So we could get an entry to in these areas. Let me just put it here as well. You can get an entry to in these areas. Now, what entry model 2 is really is that if price, I'm going to use a sell for example. If price breaks that sell line and moves aggressively down towards our 30-minute support, right? Rejects from that 30-minute support with two candle closures going in the opposite direction, then we would enter a buy from this area and target the 215 zone, and possibly even going right across the board and targeting that 30-minute resistance. And let's say we zoom in over here, for example, right? We're going to look to the far left. So let's go back. So on the 30-minute time frame, right, is this area, yeah, we can say that in this area there's a 30-minute support here, for example, right? Go back to the 5-minute time frame, and this is a perfect example of it. Price came down, tested that 30-minute support. It rejected with two candle closures going in the opposite direction, as you can see here, right? Now this would trigger you to enter a buy, because this would be an entry model 2 setup where price came in, tested that 30-minute support and rejected with two candle closures going in the opposite direction. It's not a very massive stop loss. So what you would do is that you would enter a long position from this area, put your stop loss just below the end of the candle, right? And you just target the 215 zone as best as possible. So you can see where price actually came up. It tested the buy line as well in our new structure, just saying for example purposes. And you can see now the highest point of this was what, almost, I'll say almost 90, and almost a 90 pip move, if you had taken uh, that entry. So that is what an entry model 2 would be like if it was for a buy. So even if price breaks and doesn't confirm or retest of the zone, we can still always continue and wait. We just need to be patient and wait for our entry model 2 setup. Now the entry model 2 setups are usually more riskier, so because it's going against the trend. But whenever these entries actually do run, they normally to run for a very good while. So if you get an entry to set up, it should be a very good one if the market is favorable to your position. So that's what an entry model 2 will look like for those who are unsure. So we have an entry model 1, which is a retest of the zone because we're using the 215 retest instead of doing a 215 go. So that's what we are waiting for today. Let me go back to the 15-minute time frame and let's see how price has been dancing around. So we can see that the 15-minute rejection line that we have here is a pretty solid one because we had it rejecting here, we had it rejecting here, and these as well rejected. We had a bit of a push below only just once where we had a candle push down this side, but it didn't go as far as testing that 30-minute support, but it only just pulled back. So I'm okay. I'm confident in this 15-minute rejection line, which we have right here. But we can see that the price has been consolidating for a bit between the 15 both 15-minute rejections lines. So we can see that prices tested it, rejected, tested the next, tested it. It's just been tested within this. So we had one big closure below it and it went down. Then we have another right here, but it only just rejected. Now the London session opens at 8 o'clock, which is how many minutes away? About 40 minutes away, is it? Well, it's 7:23 now, so you want to say 37 minutes away. So usually the London session would have some volume, well, a lot of volume, really, and it will push the market to wherever it wants to go. Now, with so many things going on internationally, I think there might be a very strong, what should I say, a strong bullish pressure, which is going to be added to gold, and it's slowly just going to creep up to higher highs, and that's just my overall bias on gold for buys. And if you're tracking the market on Friday, I believe it was on Friday with the news came out, with which gold should have really just sold off, but instead it rejected and went for a buy because that's the overall move of gold. And if you're watching the worldly news, you'll see that there are a lot of things scheming in the background, and with these things happening, it does affect the price of gold to actually do push it higher. All right, guys, thank you all for joining. If you haven't yet liked the live as yet, could you please do so? If you haven't shared as yet, please also do so as well. Do we have any new watchers here today on stream? And come on, guys, don't be afraid or don't be too shy to say something in the comment section. Additionally, as well, there's the Telegram channel that is in the bio of the video. Additionally, it's also on the page as well. So if you'd like to be a part of the 215 community, it's only a new community and we're growing it. You can join that Telegram group. So for right now, it's just going to be a patience game in a sense where we have to wait for price to do what we want it to do, because we can't really force the market or even force our entry. So we just need to wait patiently just to see what's happening. Is that 15 pip between, yeah, you say just about or just above. Yeah, a 15 pip between the buy line and the 15-minute rejection. So yeah, so it's a very solid setup right now for the 215 technique. What's DXY doing right now? Let's see. Okay, let's go on the daily time frame. And for those who don't know, DXY is the US dollar index. It basically displayed the strength of the US dollar. And if you're trading gold, which gold is compared against the US dollar, um, you should know about this because it's very important. There's a relationship between the DXY and the US dollar where if the DXY is going up, then gold would be going down at the reverse of it. However, there's usually a delay. So even though you can see now that DXY is currently in uptrend, right? This is on the daily time frame. It's currently in the uptrend. Gold is still moving in upwards as well, but right now it's going down a bit. So there's still a relationship to it. However, it's delayed. So we can't generally just use it to say, all right, if DXY is going up, let's sell. If DXY is going down, let's buy on gold because there's a bit of a delay on it. So you just have to be careful whenever you're doing that. All right. But it's something good to watch. So we can see that the XY is moving upwards, right? So we may expect or see some pullbacks on gold throughout today. So we just have to watch it and just see. Because it hasn't really confirmed anything much as yet. It can very well even reject from where it is right now and go back all the way down for gold to continue higher. So we can look into that in the future. All right, let's go back. So let's see what we have over here. Gold is down by $1 today, 0.05%. Let's go back to the 5-minute time frame because the 5-minute time frame is our entry time frame. We had a candle that tested below that sell line. We didn't have a candle closure though, it only was rejected, but it's still back in that 215 zone. Now I believe I think we are at 496 followers right now. I want to see if we can end January possibly 500 plus followers. So if you're on now and you haven't yet followed the channel, please go ahead and do so. And thank you everyone who had liked the live as yet and who have also shared and showed up as well. So right now it's 7:30 a.m. here in London. Market opens in 30 minutes. So right now we're just waiting patiently to see what's going to happen. Alright, so the market is moving just a little bit slow now, as we would expect. So we're in that area where now it's really just a waiting game for us right now, just to see for price. It is trending rather closely to our sell line of the 215 zone. So we just need to see what's going to happen for it. Okay. Now, persons may be interested in using the 215 technique. Once you've really understand the 215 technique, you'll notice that you can use the 215 technique on multiple different instruments. So if you want to let's say have a look at it on Bitcoin, you can use it on Bitcoin. If you want to use it on XARP or indices, you can definitely use it on any of those instruments if you'd like. It's just that you need to know the different price points to basically identify the zone, because each zone, the 215 zone on each instrument is a little bit, it's calculated uh, for each instrument that you're actually taking entries on. So for us, as we're taking entries on gold, you'll find that the 215 zone is a total of 40 pip, or it's 20 pip from the point of interest to the buy line. So, but if you were trading, let's say if you're taking entries on, let's say, Bitcoin or Bitcoin, for example, you wouldn't be able to use 20 pip um, 20 pip buy line or 20 pip sell line from the point of interest. It would be more. So it depends on what you're trading using the 215 technique, how you'd identify the zone for it. All right, so we finally have a break. The market is now pushing below our sell line. We're getting very closely as well to the market open for London. So we are getting some volume back in to into the market. So this candle closes in about a minute and a half. So let's see what it's going to do. Pretty strong volume as well coming in, because if you compare this candle versus the other candles as well, you can see. And also for those persons who are joining on TikTok, welcome. Thank you. If you haven't yet liked the live, please go ahead and do so. Additionally, if you haven't subscribed to the 215 Strays channel on YouTube, please go ahead and do so if you'd like to learn about how to use the 215 technique to successfully look for entries on gold. All right, I want to see how the price, how it reacts to this rejection line. So it closes in 5 seconds. So let's see what happens if it. Okay. So we now have a break below our 215 zone. You can see that the volume is coming in as well. All right, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for watching. If you're on TikTok, please also go ahead and subscribe to the 215 Trades channel as well on YouTube, where you can learn how to use the 215 technique to successfully look for entries whenever you are viewing gold. Additionally, as well, there's also a 215 Trades Telegram, which is also in the link of the video, as well as also on the page itself. So if you also would like to join the community and be a part of the 215ers, you can definitely go ahead and do that. All right. It's 7:41 a.m. here in London. So in 20 minutes the London market opens, and at that point in time you will get ready to go for it. The price broke but below our sell line. It's at our 15-minute rejection line right now at the minute. So we want to see what it's going to do, if it's going to reject and pull back into the zone, or if it's just going to continue down to our 30-minute support. If it does continue down to our 30-minute support, then we can look for entry model 2. So it's really just a patience game right now at the minute, but it's a good one. So we just need to wait. We don't need to rush any entries. Guys, if you haven't yet liked the live, please go ahead and do so as well. If you haven't shared the live as yet, please go ahead and do so. If you haven't followed the channel, please go ahead and do so. right, so we can see price is around that 15-minute rejection spot. It hasn't moved, and it seems as if that second candle is going to close right there as well. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, good. So we can see that price came out of the zone. You can see that the price, the candles actually close on our 15. Hold on, I need to next middle center. Right. So we can see that these candles they close exactly on our 15-minute rejection line, which validates our line even more because the market is respecting this zone. Now, what we need to do now is just wait, really. So we were waiting for price to either pull back into a 215 zone. If price doesn't pull back into a 215 zone and it continues to push downwards aggressively, then we just need to wait for an entry to set up from either the 30-minute support or the 1 hour support. All right. Thank you guys for joining the stream. For those who are on TikTok and not yet following the channel on YouTube, please go ahead and follow the channel on YouTube, which is 215 Trades on YouTube. All right, if you haven't yet liked the live as yet, please also go ahead and do so. All right, and the page on YouTube is 215 Trades on YouTube. And if you'd like to see the full screen of what we're looking for as well, due to restrictions, I had to restrict it on TikTok. But if you'd like to see the full stream, you can go ahead and go to 215 Trades on YouTube, and you will have a better view of the charts. More way cleaner as well. All right, guys, we only have one like. as well on TikTok. So if we can get those likes to 100, so if you can just double tap on that screen, we would really appreciate it as well. All right, so yeah, price is still on our 15 minute rejection area. You can see that the market is respecting uh, our zone as well, which you don't very see that often as well when the market is doing exactly what you wanted to do, right? So it's respected our 15-minute rejection area here now. So if price pulls back into our zone, right, followed by a candle closure outside, then we can look for a possible short entry from this area and targeting the 30-minute support area. All right. Thank you guys for liking the live as well, and thank you for those who followed the 215 Trades YouTube channel as well, and for those who also followed the TikTok page as well. Really do appreciate the love and the support. All right, so we're up to 400 likes. If we can get that up to 1,000 likes, we really do appreciate it. Now, guys, if the on TikTok, if the live just ends randomly, it's TikTok giving me trouble. And if that happens, if you just go to 215 Trades on YouTube, you can still see me live there right now because I'm just currently going through a battle with TikTok and doing these streams on TikTok. So if that happens, you know where I'm at. I am on 215 Trades on YouTube, so we can just switch platforms um, if you haven't yet done so as yet. And also like the live, follow the channel as well, so you can get the notifications. Additionally, there's a Telegram channel in the link of the bio. You can join that link, and you also get notifications of when we're going live as well. And there's also a community there of us that uses the 215 technique, and we help each other out. If you have any questions, you can additionally speak to me as well if you have any questions surrounding the 215 technique as well. If you also want to learn how to do the 215 technique, there's also a lot of tutorials on the YouTube channel that you can go ahead and have a quick watch out. You can also have a watch of our old live streams as well, which explains the technique in full, so you can have a better understanding of it. No, we're not entering a sell or a buy. We're neutral at this point because it hasn't given us any confirmation as yet of what it wants to do. So now where it is right now, rejecting from our 15-minute rejection line as it ought to, and it's rejecting perfectly as well. It closed exactly on our line, forming another support on the line. So if it goes back now into the zone and close inside the zone, right, with another candle closure outside, then we can look for a possible entry. Now, thing about it is that the London market opens in about 8 minutes or so. So there's one to look out for, where you answer questions on TT or on YouTube. Well, I answer questions wherever you ask them. So if you ask them on YouTube, then I'll answer them. The time frame that I'm on right now is the 5-minute time frame. So margin, if you have a question, if you ask it, and I'll answer it. Oh, do I think you guys Nas will suffer from? Um, no, I don't think it will, because Nas was is a foundational instrument that has been there long before TikTok, so TikTok won't really have much of an impact on it, I would say, and that's my personal opinion. It's not any financial advice or anything like that. Hope that answers your question, my friend. All right, guys, we're at 800 likes. Can you just get those likes over to 1,000 as well? Also, as well, if you haven't yet followed the, thank you guys for following the TikTok page. But if you haven't yet followed the YouTube page, please go ahead and do so. That's 215 Trades on YouTube. We're at 496 followers over there right now. We're still growing the channel, and we'd like to get it to over 500 by the end of the month. So if you just can go ahead and click that follow button or subscribe button, then we would really appreciate it. And guys, as again, if the live just ends abruptly, that's TikTok giving me trouble. And if that happens, you know where to find me. I'm live right now as well on YouTube. Greetings, David. All right, good. Okay, are you in entry on NAS margin? All right, so we can see that the price came, tested the 15-minute rejection. It pulled back a little. It only just kissed our 215 zone, but it didn't go inside of the zone. But it's continuing to melt. Um, so you just need to see what is it really going to do. What does it want to do? 5 minutes until the London market opens. They're in NAS right now. Ah, okay. Well, you need to manage it properly. Margin, manage your entry properly so you don't risk losing your entire balance on your account. So you need to do it safely. If you're down too much and you can't risk holding on any longer, you need to properly manage it. All right, the price is still on our 15-minute rejection line. All right, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for showing up for the live as well. 1.95 pound, then to 2.330 pound. Bradley, I'm not sure what what those prices are for really. Dice, yeah, what can I do for you? Remember, guys, if you haven't yet followed the 215 Trades channel on YouTube, please go ahead and do so. That's where we do our live streams mainly to explain the 215 technique as well. Also, followed the if you haven't joined the Telegram group as well, please go ahead and do so so you can get your personal notification and possibly speak to me as well if you'd like, or anyone who is using the 215 technique. Danish, no, we haven't taken a entry as yet because we're still waiting for price to confirm. It hasn't confirmed an entry for us as yet. So there are two things that we're currently waiting for. Well, there are quite a few things that we're waiting for because we have an entry two or entry two, sorry, or an entry one. So right now where it is right now, if this price was to pull back into the 215 zone and close inside the 215 zone and rejects with a kind of closure outside of the 215 zone, then we could take an entry. If price was to continue to push aggressively downwards, right, without rejection and going back into our zone, then we can look for an entry model 2 setup after rejection of the 30-minute support or the 1 hour support. So those are the things that we're currently looking for right now. So if it pulls back into the zone and close outside, then we can go for an entry. If it melts all the way down and test the 30-minute support, then we can look for an entry model 2 setup. And if you're not familiar with the entry model 2 setup, there's multiple live streams on the YouTube channel that you can go ahead and just have a quick watch out, which explains it. So what entry model 2 really is just a rejection from the 30-minute support. So if you look on this section right here, where you can see where price came in to the 30-minute support area, tested the 30-minute support area, and it rejected with 2 candle closures going in the opposite direction. Now, because it rejected with these 2 candles going in the opposite direction, that would confirm an entry model 2, and the stop loss isn't so big on it, so it would have been a perfect time to take an entry model 2, which would be a buy position, where you put your stop loss just below the length of that, and you will target your 215 zone if you had one at that point in time. So that would be an example of a entry model 2 setup. So if this was to continue downwards, to come down and test that 30-minute support, we'd look for it to replicate something like this, reject, going in the opposite direction with 2 candle closures, and we could take entry model 2 setup from that point. But right now, it hasn't confirmed either entry 1 nor entry 2, and the London market has now just opened. So now it's time for us to see what the the market does now. So let now say that the price, yeah, we're currently waiting for a good entry as well. Okay, seems as if TikTok shut down yet again. Okay, so let's say price doesn't confirm entry 1 or 2 on the sell side, right? Then what we'd have to wait for is for price to, let's say, continue upwards. If you continue upwards, that's perfectly fine, but we still need for it to do the retest model on the upside if we were going to take a buy from it as well. All right, so yeah, it seems as if yeah, TikTok is down again. Yeah, I'm not surprised really. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, the volume is in. Now price is rejecting and pulling back into a 215 zone. Yeah, that's very strong volume as well. Is what you would expect on the open of the London markets. So very strong opening candle right there. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame just to see what's happening. All right, came in, tested. You can see the wick of the candles actually did went to this bit right there. So despite the candle explosion here, the wick actually tested this 15-minute candle right there. Not bad. So it's pulled it back nicely in for 215 zone. So let's see what happens. It's now 8:05. It's a very patient game. This is very patient game. Because let's see. These zones. Say if we do get a buy, we could possibly look for price to continue to test those areas. But is the XY still climbing? Yeah, rejected. Yeah, rejected. So let's see if this continues to pull down. Because if it continues to go down, that's in the strong indication then that gold should be switching. Go back to the upside. So let's see. It's still in our zone right now. Still above above the sell line. Still between the point of interest on the sell line as well. 2 minutes. Seems to be a bit of a power struggle going on right now with this candle. I don't like the way this candle is moving. All right. So it's now back below our sell line. If it close outside, we confirm a sell. Hopefully, it doesn't close too far away from that zone. Where's my measuring stick? All right. It closed right on the sell line. Wow. Close right on the sell line. It closed it closed perfectly on that sell line. Right, exactly on that sell line. Just a minute time frame. All right, we're just waiting patiently just to see what it's going to do. The XY is dumping. All right. Yeah, the XY is dumping. Not a whole lot though, because even though it's red now, it's not a whole lot. Not as, I wouldn't say it's strong, really. If it continues downwards and let's say it comes to these areas, then I'll say that was a strong sell off on DXY, really. But for where it is right now, you can very well just reject from these zones right here and go back upwards. What's gold doing? Still in the 215 zone. Yeah, I don't like the way it's acting right now. One minute till this candle closes. don't like selling it. Yeah, I can see why. Because most of the big moves I actually does make is towards the upside. But sometimes it does have some very good um, periods when it's a good time to sell. But if that's your entry that you look for and you're more comfortable with taking, that's perfectly fine um, as well. Because if we think about it, for the past years, gold has just steadily been climbing. It has been retracting a bit, but it has been climbing mostly. Did my chart freeze? What's going on here? Hold on, my did the markets freeze just now? Yeah, the markets are moving, so okay. Oh, okay. All right, we're back in business. Yeah. So my my trading view disconnected. Um, so you had to reconnect it. Oh, it was weird a while just now. It's very weird. It's the first time actually seeing that. I wonder if there was like a crisis going on that I didn't know about, and the financial markets that froze. Yeah, but we're back. We're back now. We're back now. So the price still hasn't confirmed an entry as yet. Oh wow! So we're finally at 500 followers. That was lovely and awesome as well. It did take us some time to get here, but we're here nonetheless. Really do appreciate all the love and the support, my followers. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to everyone who show up daily as well for our live streams. All right, so has all right, so price came down, broke our 215 zone, test our 15-minute rejection line with a pull back into the 215 zone. I came into a 215 zone with a candle closure inside as well, tested our point of interest line as well, and it's now just fluctuating between our POI and our sell line. Price broke a few times outside of the 215 zone, but never concretely closed outside of it. The closest one we've had would be this candle, but it closed exactly on that sell line, so that wouldn't have confirmed sell entry, but it does seem as if it wants to confirm a sell entry if this candle closes outside. But based on how the price is moving, we just need to be careful just to make sure that whichever entry we take is the proper entry for us to take today using the 215 technique. It's now 8:19 a.m. here, or 8:20 a.m. if you want to call it that, here in London. It's not snowing anymore, which is good, but it's still icy on the outside. So if anyone's out there today, be careful. All right, let's have a quick look at DXY. What is it doing? Yeah, it's still going down, and if it's still going down, then that's a strong possibility that gold will continue to go up. Now, it does seem as if gold is getting a little bit of a fight right here, because it's not going above these areas. Is it fixed in for that sell? Yeah, it's not breaking above these areas. It's pushing very strongly. Okay. Yeah, it's a very aggressive push. Oh, very. Seems like a 40 pip move. Wow. It's nice. And GR, this would be one of those instances, you know, where if you had taken a sell entry, which I know you don't like taking, but you know, it would have been very rewarding for you to get that one solid move, that one solid push like that. I believe that's about 50 pip. That's about a 50 pip candle. So 4.5 for the 5 pips. So yeah, that's a very strong candle. What happened? There's just one small green candle on the XY. The magnitude of the gold candle far exceed what this candle is doing now. It's not like it catapult to the top. Hmm. It's very iffy. What is it doing? Okay. All right. So let's go for a sell. All right. So based off our previous analysis, now price came in. Price tested that 50-minute rejection, came back into the zone, and it came out with a candle closure on the outside of it. So that confirmed our retest. So we go in. We're just gonna try for that sharp position and try to see if we can aim for that 30-minute support. Now it's the first day of the week, so ensure that if you're doing this trade, you are properly risk managing on this trade. So let's see what happens today. Now it's just in time as well. It's almost 8:30, as you know, almost the end of the stream. So that's the position that I'm currently in right now. So we're just waiting just to see how it will play out. If it will reject, come back to burn us. But I feel like it will continue to go towards the downside. So let's see what happens. Stop loss just at the top of the 215 zone. And take profit just at that 30-minute support. So that's 2680. What move is that? That's a 60 pip move. Okay. All right. So that's my position for today. Okay, guys. All right, so you can see the price. Let me just zoom in a little bit more for you guys so you can look and see what we're working with, and you can also just mark it and track it on your end. It's now all 8:28 a.m. here in London, and as you know, we all go up until 8:30 for the live stream. All right. So thank you guys very much for tuning in today. Thank you very much for liking the live, for all those who followed the channel as well, and for those who joined our Telegram group. Thank you very much for the love and the support. And we will tune in again tomorrow, same time, same place, to trade gold using the 215 technique. Thank you all. You enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and happy trading.